And they were roommates.
Yes, and they were
roommates.
When I tell
That
you,
synthesized shit will make you start tweaking out in crazy ways, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
She was tweaking out in crazy ways.
yeah. You'll see the fucking hat man.
Yeah. And it's like, she's such a fucking slut. She's like lost all her clothes. And I'm like, babe, you only lost your shoe.
You say that you were the one that was the mother. I was always the one that needed a mother from my roommate.
You're like, where is my mother?
What's going on, Internet? Welcome back to the Girls vs. World podcast. I'm very excited to shoot today's episode because, believe it or not, we have not shot a Girls vs. World episode in a while. So buckle up because we have a guest today. Alex, welcome to the podcast.
Ooh, Alex Drago.
I'm so excited to have you here. This conversation finally made it out of the group chat.
Yeah,
We've been talking
literally.
about-
Yeah, we've been chatting in the group chat for I think a couple weeks now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm also happy that you guys are all in the same room and hanging out.
yeah,
I know.
My favorite people.
I love the group chat. Like,
Oh, it's
great
so-
source of girlhood.
Oh,
Yes.
for sure.
To have a solid group of girls that you can just rant through the day with and
Yes.
say random shit to. Like,
Amazing.
Send all my brain farts. I love that.
Yeah, the TikToks
Girlhood.
are honestly awesome. You guys want to open up with a banter box?
Yeah,
Okay. My banter box question for you guys is, if you could pick any celebrity to be a roommate with, who would it be?
All right, so Mickey 17, the movie that just recently came out with Robert Pattinson,
Mm-hmm.
he basically plays, well, he obviously he plays different versions of himself, but it's there's Mickey 1 through 18. So there's 18 different versions of him in this movie.
Oh.
And they're all kind of existing at the same time. It's like a sci-fi, so I don't have to explain the science there.
That's okay.
There's no science
Yeah,
involved.
it doesn't make any sense. It's just fun to watch.
But if I could have 18 Robert Pattinsons walking around doing my bidding,
Hell
that
yeah.
would be
I mean, that
amazing.
I think that is a solid answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that too. What
he
about you,
also
Sid?
just seems kind of insane.
Oh,
like
I think-
him in real life.
No, I think
seems kind of insane.
he's closeted, kind of a crazy man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear the story about him? He went out on a dinner date with his stalker, and then
Yes, I did. I think that they were outside of his house, and he was just like,
he was like, "Yeah, I guess I'll go out with you."
let's just
And
go
then
out.
they went out, and she was so turned off by the end of the date that she just
Shut
never
the
contacted
fuck
him again.
up.
That's the best story of all time.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. What about you, Sid?
Honestly, probably Aubrey Plaza.
Okay.
I think that she is just wild enough, but also bland enough to where it would just make every day interesting. You just really never know what she's gonna say.
Yeah.
She also would probably be a really bad roommate, but I would at least want to test the waters and see how that would go.
That's
Yeah,
so
see how it
real.
goes.
Yeah.
I think if I was going to give a stereotypical answer that everyone would expect from me, it would be Billie Eilish.
I was gonna say.
Mhm.
I was gonna
But no,
say.
I'm gonna be a little bit more interesting than that, and I'm gonna say Alex Cooper because I think I would be
I was gonna say
constantly
that for
entertained.
you as well.
Yeah, I would be so entertained by that
Yeah.
bitch. She would just be telling me some elder shit every single day.
Yeah.
I feel like
you
she
guys
just
would just be podcasting all day long too.
yes.
You guys would
Very
just be
true.
editing all day long.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be
Very true.
Podcastception.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
I do love me some Alex Cooper.
Me too.
I'm obsessed.
What about you?
Natasha Lyonne, if we know who she is.
No idea.
She
No.
played Nikki in Orange is the New Black.
Okay.
She's got the best voice too.
The best fucking voice, and she's a cigarette mommy.
You kind of give me her.
I've always been
energy.
told that I look like her.
Yeah, I can
I've
see
been
it.
told many, many times that I look like her, but she
Who
also
is it? Natasha Lyonne.
Lyonne.
Oh wait, I know. You do look like her. As soon
Yeah.
as you said that, I don't even have to look her up anymore.
But her energy, I follow her on Instagram, and just the energy that she brings to life is just so fuck around and find out that we would probably live in chaos.
Yeah.
It would,
you
because
guys would just
she
be fist
seems,
fighting each other all the
because
time.
I am type B and she seems very much type B. It would be chaos central.
Yeah.
The other person that I would say, Ellen Pompeo.
Yeah.
If I could live with Ellen Pompeo, to be able to come home from work on a shitty ass day and dance it out with Meredith Grey would be
I was like, why am I
life-changing.
blanking on who
That
this
is an intellectual woman.
Yeah,
I
and
listened to her Call Her Daddy
did- it
episode
It was
recently,
the
and I was
best
like,
podcast episode I've ever fucking
I
listened
haven't,
to.
I haven't had a
good.
chance to see it, but
It was
I'm gonna,
really good.
I'm gonna
She is
watch
one
it.
of the most inspiring, like, just I love everything that she embodies. She's
Yeah.
just one of the most badass, like, women in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the reason that I even asked that banter box question is because today we're talking about roommates
are.
and living with roommates.
Alex and I were roommates for like 5 years.
For forever.
It was, and
And
I'm
a
sad
day.
that the era ended. I
And
actually,
they were roommates.
yes, and they were
And
roommates.
they
And they were
roommates.
roommates.
I actually told Brie today, you're probably, excluding Theo and including Travis, probably the only person I could live with like for the rest of my life and not have a single issue with. Like,
Oh, 100%.
like
Damn, what the fuck? I thought we were gonna get some crazy ass stories.
no, I mean we do.
have some stories.
I
We have
can't wait.
some stories to
tell.
share.
But Alex is probably hands down like the easiest person to live with.
Hell
ever.
yeah. Why? Why do you think so?
She just is
Party.
the best. I'm like, okay, first of all, a couple things about Alex Drago. I would wake up in the morning, I'd come downstairs, there would just be this tiny woman in a very big hoodie, hood up, standing at the kitchen island, being like, do you want any coffee? First, immediately, the best thing ever. I have several photos of this. I will send you photos this time. And
I can't
want
wait.
You to put them.
They're gonna be the
On the
fucking cover
screen.
photos. Yep.
And then also, Alex Drago in the evening enjoys a Yule log on the television.
Oh my God. Not the
all
Yule log.
the lights off. I also have several
To
photos.
this day, Travis makes fun of
Yeah,
me.
She's
for
airing
the
your
Yule
shit
log.
out.
Yes,
I
we
know.
brought it into our household though, so Travis can't say shit. We also
Facts.
enjoy a Yule log with some like lo-fi Wi-Fi or lo-fi
Wi-Fi.
lo-fi hip hop.
Yes.
playing.
Hell yeah.
Those are the ones that I choose. But I have several photos of Alex also just fucking knocked out on the couch, Yule log in the background, big hoodie on.
Nothing
again.
better than it.
Yeah, like just like the easiest person, always clean, like always very clean, dishes always done, like zero complaints.
How did you guys become roommates? Were you guys friends first, or you
Yeah.
met on the internet or
wanna-
something?
Well, where do we start our friendship journey?
The friendship journey started because I was dating Travis and she was dating Redacted from Varials. And we just became
Throwback to being band girlfriends.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
band girlfriends.
I think I'm the only one that cannot relate to
The
that.
band
Yeah.
girlfriend like dynamic with the other girlfriends is unmatched. Unmatched.
it
Yeah.
truly is. It's so crazy though, because for years before me and Sydney actually knew each other, I was first and foremost friends with Trav, just through because my partner at the time being in the band,
Redacted.
Redacted. And it was just so funny because Travis's ex-partner, also Redacted.
Also Redacted.
We did not really
Vibe.
Jive like that.
vibe.
Yeah.
No, we did not really jive. And Trav knows how I felt, or I don't really feel that way anymore. But you know,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
knew how I felt at the time about that person, and so I was so beyond stoked when Travis started bringing Miss Thang around.
Hell yeah.
Which is so funny because I actually was so nervous because the other band girlfriends were still friends with Redacted.
Oh,
so
that sucks.
I was like, oh, I'm walking into this dynamic that was like already like
Kind of like
solidified.
established.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But no, Alex, I feel like, I don't know, day one, I was just like, this is my fucking bitch.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of went
I was
from
like,
there.
I'm going to make every effort to make sure that she feels like the most welcomed, the most
yeah.
like important person in
Yeah.
this room right
yeah,
now.
and I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went from being band girlfriends to girlfriends to
Yeah.
coworkers to eventually roommates.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think that it just, I don't even remember how the conversation started. I think that like Trav and I were like thinking about moving back from PA back to New Jersey.
Mhm.
And Alex was like, oh, like my boyfriend Mikey is like going to be moving from Florida, now fiance.
Mhm.
And it just kind of was like, I feel like this would just make sense. And we ended up getting an apartment in Collingswood. And
Oh,
then-
all four of you.
yeah.
Oh shit.
Poor Mikey never saw the apartment before moving into the apartment. I don't know that
Let
he
alone
necessarily
moving to a different state in
Right.
general.
Yeah, I don't think
That
he.
was crazy.
I don't think he loved it. Which, to be fair,
he was not too stoked
Yeah.
at first.
To
He
be
was
fair-
just like, okay, well, to be fair to him, like we had pretty much straight shot driven from Florida to New Jersey. So it was like a 17-hour drive.
Oh, yeah.
Through the night. So he's like beyond exhausted at this point.
for sure. Walks into
In
this
his
like box.
Tiny ass Veloster. Like we literally packed up every single thing we possibly could in that car. And I mean, if you've seen a Veloster, you know that
Oh, hell
thing's
yeah.
not big.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's got that little half door on the one side.
We
Yeah.
actually, his TV, he had a flat screen that we tried to smush in there, and it was fully broken. Which we realized when we got there.
Oh, God.
Which, if you're asking me, a likely story, we just so happen to now need to get a brand new, bigger, fun TV.
That's just
a
been the
likely
story of my life
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah. What is with men and buying new TVs? Because that is a thing.
I
Just
don't know,
new
but-
technology.
Yeah, it's always the
like-
technology. Yeah.
Fucking, yeah.
Like, it was just like the most uncomfortable car ride you can imagine. Not for like the conversation, that part was great, but
Yeah.
like physically the most uncomfortable
Yeah.
car ride. And then so like pulling up to like this tiny shoebox apartment in Collingswood at like 6 a.m, and we're like half dead. He was just like, what am I getting myself into?
Yeah.
Oh,
And to
shit.
be fair, like the back parking lot was fucking treacherous.
Oh, yes.
The backyard was treacherous, trash all over the place at that point. Cause like when we moved in, they didn't like clean up the backyard. So we had to like call the landlord to like come and clean it up.
Uh-huh.
There was like glass everywhere,
Yeah.
I remember.
Mhm.
Fuck.
Yeah,
And
it was crazy.
Yeah, it was bonkers. And the apartment itself was just like not the best, but we did what we had to do, you know?
We were roommates from like early 2018
18?
through 2023.
Yeah.
Is
Hell
that
yeah.
right?
Wow.
2022 or 2023.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Bonkers.
So a while. I mean, we lived through a lot. Like we lived through COVID together.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was
shit.
crazy.
that was
Yeah.
crazy. Cause I'm pretty sure you had it like right when. Cause
Oh, I did.
yeah.
Oh, I did. I had COVID. Like I was patient zero. Y'all.
Yeah.
I had
Oh my
COVID
God,
on
no.
March 10th,
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah.
Like it was bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember you were like, I don't know what's happening. And you like were wearing a mask. And that was the first time I ever saw anybody wearing a mask was Alex was wearing
Oh,
a mask.
yeah, because at the time I was working in retail management at the mall. I feel like in retail, especially when you're in management, like you don't get a day off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I really didn't have a choice but to go into work, even though I was sick. And like, I remember people were looking at me crazy because I was wearing,
Wearing
a mask.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, "What the fuck is happening? Like, what is that on your face?" And it, like, I was like freaked out. I was like, "I feel like you're dying. Like, are you dying?"
Like I'm almost
Like,
positive.
are you dying?
Yeah, but then it became so normal to do. But Alex was actually the first person I ever saw wearing a mask. But also, I feel like I've had to rescue her a couple of times in our own household.
In what way?
For example,
no.
Alex went
I'm
to,
scared.
I believe you went to New Hope.
Oh no.
I believe that's where you went. And it was like 8 p.m. and I'm just like sitting in me and Trav's room, door closed, lights off, watching the TV. Trav's like gaming on his computer, and I get like a knock on the door. And then it's Mikey, and he's like, "Hey, can you help? Like, I don't know what's happening, but Alex is like freaking out." And I'm just like, "Yeah, sure. What happened?" And then he steps to the side, and Alex is just like bawling her eyes out, like, "I don't know what's happening. I feel like I'm dying." And like, I literally like have bundled her up in a blanket. Long story short, she took CBD gummies.
What I thought was CBD gummies.
Yes, it ended
Was
up
not CBD gummies.
Yeah, what did it end up being? It was
No.
like fake weed, right?
To be clear, this was advertised to me by the man in the. This should have been my first red flag, to be honest. He was like, the guy behind the counter was wearing like, have you ever seen like a lab coat, like a white lab
Yeah.
coat? But it's just a fucking like weed store. So it's like, why are you wearing
Was
a
it an
white lab
actual
coat?
dispensary or was it like some gas station weed?
It wasn't an actual dispensary, but it wasn't like a gas
It was like
station.
a smoke shop.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
that is like selling like the boof like
So-
street shit.
So my first impression of this person was like, oh, like they're wearing a lab coat. Maybe they know what they're talking about. Obviously not. He was like, oh yeah, you should try these CBD gummies. They're like really good for just kind of like chilling. Like if you want to get like an early night, like here, I'll give you a sampler pack.
Yeah.
I'm like having PTSD. I'm having more flashbacks of Alex.
I take a whole one, and like I should have split it in half. I guess I just wasn't really thinking because I was told it's just CBD.
Yeah.
It was like 1,000 milligrams.
It was 1,000
2,000 milligrams, I think.
No. It was 1,000 milligrams, 500 milligrams of CBD, 500 milligrams of Delta 8.
Not even Delta 9.
Not even like regular THC. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the synthesized shit.
Yes.
Like, and that synthesized shit will make you start tweaking out in crazy ways, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
She was tweaking out in crazy ways.
Yeah. You don't
And,
see the
like,
fucking
keep in
hat man.
mind-
Yeah.
I mean, for anybody looking to have a good time,
Yeah, that's it.
I was not looking for that.
Yeah.
I was looking for
Well, it's different when you're not
Relax.
expecting that, and then you're like, oh, we're past the point of no return.
Yeah.
I
Like,
very much so was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So
It was rough. So I literally bundled Alex up, brought her in. She's wearing an Apple Watch. So she thinks
that was red flag number 2.
red flag number 2 was she starts tweaking out. She's bawling. She's saying, my blood pressure is
No.
I'm watching my Apple Watch
Yes.
go up.
Well, and I'm like, well, first of all, that is not your blood pressure. That is your heart rate. Second of all, you're having a meltdown, and maybe we need to just take the watch off. So I sent Mikey away with the watch. I lather her entire body, speaking of Lush, with the lavender Lush shit.
Like the sleep scent.
Literally gave her like a whole facial with it, like put it under her nose so
you
she
went
can
full
smell
crunchy
it.
mom.
I was a mother that night. And then I'm like giving her water, giving her like all of these things. And then I'm like, are you hungry? And she's like, yeah, I'm hungry. So I'm like, okay, be right back. Run downstairs. And I'm like, what's a healthy little quick snack to get my friend who is having the worst night of her life? For some reason, I thought it was a good idea to make a peanut butter fucking sandwich as if she doesn't have like the driest mouth of all time. So I'm like giving her this like peanut butter sandwich. She's eating it, and she's like coughing and gagging. And I'm like, "Are you like what's happening? Are you?" And then I'm like, "Fuck, she's having an allergic reaction to fucking peanut butter now." I lit candles. I was like fucking. I was a mother, a doctor. I was many things that night.
Yeah, full disclosure, I had to return to therapy after that experience.
Wow.
That sent me back to a
Holy
therapist.
shit. Oh my God.
To this day, I can't eat gummies.
Yeah.
Like gummy candy, gummy vitamins.
Yes,
That was like
It was
truly traumatizing.
Like, we're laughing about it, but it was like the most traumatic.
Yeah,
thing ever.
no,
I was giggling along.
It was not
Holy
a good time.
shit.
But I think your mom literally had to drive you to like a witch doctor or something.
Oh
right?
yeah, she took me to a Reiki healer.
Okay.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
The Reiki healer is like, yeah, hun, I don't think marijuana is your medicine of
calling.
choice.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stay away from that moving forward.
That was fucking crazy.
I was very fragile for a very long time.
Yeah, I'm
She was this
sure.
little baby bird that like just lived upstairs in my house.
I've never lived alone.
Holy shit.
I don't know what peace and solitude looks like in like,
How many
a
people have
living
you lived
space.
with?
Let's see. I'm one of 5, so
Okay.
I had 5 roommates in my house of origin. Then I went to college. I had 2 roommates my freshman year. And then my sophomore, junior, and senior year, I lived in a house with 3 other girls. And that was in college. My senior year of college, I went to Hawaii for a semester and I roommated with my best friend, Kath. That was honestly my favorite roommate situation.
Yeah.
And I'll get into that. And then I graduated college and found roommates on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's how as an adult, I found all of my roommates on Facebook.
Wait, how many
Really?
roommates did you have that you lived that
So-
were on Facebook?
4.
4?
That's crazy.
Holy shit. And then now Alex.
And yeah, and Alex moved into our South Philly house when we were living there. And then we lived in a house in Mayfair, and now we're in our house now. So
Wow.
I've always
had
had roommates.
11
I've had-
people that you've
yeah,
lived
I've
with.
had easily 11 roommates.
Yeah, I just
crazy.
counted. It's 11.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's actually really similar to me because I think I've had like 10 people or so that I live with. Damn, I forgot to move that light. That's pissing me off. It's okay.
But I've lived
I
with
moved
people
there earlier.
with so many different dynamics. I've had
Yeah.
to live with people
yeah.
that had complete opposite dynamics
Yeah.
than me. My girl Amelia,
Mm-hmm.
I moved into that house, and that house was an advent for live, laugh, love.
oh shit.
She was living, laughing, and loving all over the house.
I moved in and I painted my wall black.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, who the fuck is this bitch?
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Like, what did I find on Facebook?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we lived two very different worlds. We eventually fell onto same pages
Yeah.
and were able to get rowdy, but I threw some bangers in that house when my roommates were not around.
I love
Hell yeah.
that so much.
Great times.
Speaking of bangers, throwing bangers, my other roommate story I wanted to share of Alex Drago was we had a New Year, right before COVID, we had a New Year's Eve party.
Can I just preface before you say this?
Yes.
She will never let me
I will
Live
never.
this down.
down.
Hell
She will-
yeah.
I will never let her live this
It's going to
down.
live on the internet now. I can't wait.
To be fair, maybe this is the last story I'll tell. The last time I'll tell this story. We had a New Year's Eve party. I think that was the first and the last like party we ever had in this house, really. The one we lived together. This was another situation where Mikey called me and was like, SOS. We
Help
need
me.
your help. He also needed help, to be fair. You were drinking rum, I think. Mikey was drinking whatever the fuck he could get his hands on. And then he smoked weed. So he was also down and out. But I get a call while I'm downstairs from all the way on the 3rd floor, which there's a big staircase and then there's a little spiral staircase that is treacherous. It is like climbing Mount Everest. And I'm drunk myself. And Mikey's like, I need your help. I'm throwing up. Alex is throwing up. She just fell backwards into the tub.
Oh, fuck.
So I go in and it's like a fucking crime scene. I walk into their bathroom. Mikey's big ass is like over the toilet. Alex's tiny little ass is stuck, but like literally took the whole curtain down with her, stuck there. You had puke in
That's
your
so
hair.
valid.
No.
I'm trying to like help her. So I'm holding her hair back even though there's puke in it because I'm a real one. Love you. And Mikey's just like, he's like, I'm going to bed. So he goes into their room. He's done. Not even midnight at this point.
Oh, shit.
And then Alex lost a shoe at some point, and she started talking about herself in like 3rd person. So she's like,
I don't remember any of this.
yeah, she was like slut shaming herself in this drunken like
Stupor.
yeah, and is like, she's such a fucking slut. She's like lost all her clothes, and I'm like, babe, you only lost your shoe. She's so slutty. She's got her boobs out, and I was like, you do have your boob out. And then I had to like help her like get her boob back in. Throws up on the floor.
That is
Speaking-
girlhood.
Yes.
It is
I
girlhood.
was like, I was sober as fuck at that point, and it was treacherous.
The best part about throwing a party at your own house, though, is being able to Irish exit the party at
Oh, yeah.
any point in time.
For sure. Like,
That's
I'm
why
out.
I would always say, if we're throwing a rager, we're throwing it at my residence so that y'all can stay till whenever the fuck you want. Tear my house up. I don't care. I'll deal with it in the morning.
I'm going to bed
I'm going
whenever.
to bed.
Yeah,
I'm going
whenever
to bed.
I
I
want
need to go vomit.
Yeah.
Is
Mhm.
what it was usually.
Yeah. The next morning, I was like anxiously pacing around her downstairs, like waiting for Alex to come downstairs because I was nervous for my friend. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, is she going to wake up? Like, I made sure that you were like on your side. I made sure Mikey was on his side.
I had to work the next
She
day.
had
by
to work the
way,
next
as
day.
well.
Fuck.
She comes on down. First thing you did was you went right to the fridge. You got the crispest fridge water, and you were like, I'm here. You were freshly showered and everything. And I was like, friend, I literally thought you lost your life last night. I was so nervous.
You say that you were the one that was the mother. I was always the one that needed a mother
Yeah.
from my roommate.
You're like, where is my mother?
My freshman roommate in college, and she is an avid lister of this podcast.
Hell yeah.
Shout
What's
out
up, girl?
Tara. What's up? I'm sorry you had to deal with me, and you saw me at my worst.
I love that.
She was very much about her business. Like, she came to school to not play. I came to get fucked up.
Yeah.
And we were both on the same lacrosse team, but I would go out usually like Wednesday through Sunday night. And my car that I had at the time, shout out the Toyota RAV4, was the community car of the dorm,
So reliable.
Of the dorm room. It was the community car. And my agreement with everybody in that dorm building was, you can drive my car as long as you pick me up from where I am at the end of the night and drive me back. I don't care. Do
That's a
whatever
good
you want with
agreement
my
to
car.
have.
Yeah.
But I would always call someone desperately at the end of the night and be like, you have to go wake up Tara. You need to get my keys. And Tara, like, twice a week, there would be someone knocking on the door, waking Tara up. Like,
She should have just started sliding them under the door.
Yeah.
Fucking
Like,
cat.
But I should have really just arranged who had my keys earlier. But
Yeah.
like, then it would be the process of her giving them my keys, and then she would get like maybe an hour worth of sleep before then I would come barreling ass into the dorm room, make my exit back and forth to the bathroom vomiting. She was so sick of me. I was a hot mess. That was freshman year of college.
But she still watches the pod. She loves you.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're friends, and we've been friends since like high school.
I love
so
that.
we knew each other coming into being roommates, but it was just the lifestyle that I was living such a crazy ass
Yeah.
fucking
I've never
lifestyle.
even had a fucking party at my goddamn house with 11 different people that I've lived
What
with.
the last
Never.
party I threw was in a South Philly row home. Very, very tiny. We had 2 kegs and about 120 people in that bitch.
Get the fuck out of
120
here.
people is crazy.
Oh, you know what? I think the closest that we've actually had to like having a party at a place that I lived in was when Josh was throwing house shows here in the basement, and we had one girl doing ketamine in our bathroom downstairs, and then went into our backyard and was tripping the fuck out, like literally laying in the grass with the fucking dog poop, like out of her mind. Yeah, like was like fucked up. And then there was one other time that we had some random guy like just walk into the basement of the house when Josh was having band practice because he thought there was like a show going on. So he just like came through the sunroom and like fucking walked into the backyard and like
So bold.
came inside, and Josh was like, "Who the fuck are you?
what the
are
fuck
you
are you doing in
He's
my
like, "Oh, I
house?"
thought there was a show here," and Josh was like, "No, that was last week. Can you fucking get out of my house?"
What's like your Sydney roommate
I was
story?
gonna say we need some lore about Sydney. The
Yeah.
fuck, she's just airing you out.
I
Like,
know.
Yeah.
I feel like people are gonna have like
Tell
the
me.
wrong impression.
No, not at all. No, I preface it by saying Alex is a literal angel in this world.
Yeah.
Those were like the 2 crazy things.
You know what I was thinking about? Just like in preparation for this talk tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is something you want to talk about or not, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I know we talked a lot about you rescuing me from situations.
Oh, go ahead, girl.
But I clearly remember rescuing you
Which one?
from Redacted with the whole foot fetish thing.
Oh, girl, go right on
Oh,
ahead.
shit.
I would love to talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Yes.
So there was this person. We will not gender them. We will not name them.
okay,
And they were very good friends with me at the time, as well as Travis, right?
okay,
Trav is on tour. This person had stayed at our apartment previously, has, hung out with us all previously, knew Alex, very comfortable with this person.
yeah,
So Trav's on tour,
Uh-huh.
and I put a feeler out there like, hey, I'm, trying to have some people over tonight, like, to drink if anybody wants to come. This person hit me up and is like, hey, I'm down to come, whatever. But they lived out of town. They lived out of state. So they were like, would I be able to crash?
okay,
I say this to specify, like, my partner was so comfortable with this person that they were allowed to stay at our apartment while Travis was on tour.
right,
It was not a problem. It was not weird. Nothing.
Right.
I had other friends coming as well.
mm-hmm.
I picked this person up. We go back to the apartment. I noticed that certain weird things were happening where they were like looking down a lot. Like they were just like their body language was really strange. I went to go take my shoe off and this person tried to take my shoe off for me.
Hey,
And I said, I'm good. Thank you.
I think
let
at this
go.
point, too, just to confirm, like,
Mhm.
it was just the 2 of you. At
Yes.
this, like, nobody else had arrived
Yeah,
yet.
it was just me and this person. And I'm like, what is happening right now?
yeah,
I was complaining that my back hurt. They proceeded to rub my feet and tell me that it helps with your back pain. I was like, oh, no, thank you so much. That's okay.
I'd be like, put
I
some fucking gloves on.
Yeah.
I fear that you are not.
Continue, but here's some dish gloves.
Yeah,
The fuck?
you were like, I'm cool with it, but here you go.
Yeah.
No, it was.
Here's my thing. I fear you're not touching my Piggly Wigglies
Yeah.
to begin with.
Yeah, it was so strange. And I was wearing socks, by the way. But
Regardless, you're not.
I was like,
No.
I took my shoe off. The person tried to grab my foot to take my other shoe off for me. I thought that was weird, but I was like, maybe I'm going crazy. Then they just started to rub my foot. I was like, I'm good. Thank you so much.
Sydney.
I'm panicking at this point, but I'm high.
Right.
So I'm like,
That doesn't
maybe
help.
I'm just internalizing this.
Yeah.
Then my friend Nishad and his partner showed up, and I hadn't met her before. And my other friend was being really fucking weird towards my friend Nishad.
Mhm.
And I thought, okay, what's happening here? Am I just internalizing this because I'm a little drunk, I'm a little high? I feel like something weird is happening.
Yeah.
And like kept like looking down and then like looking at me and then like rolling their eyes like in the direction whenever my friend Nishad was talking, almost like making it clear that they didn't want this person, like they didn't want Nishad there.
Right.
And I was just like pretending like I didn't notice. And the whole night like just kept staring at my feet. And I was like, okay, I'm feeling like a crazy person, but there's no fucking way at this point in time. Like touched my feet like twice,
Mhm.
tried to take my shoe off, keeps looking at my feet, doesn't want my other friend and his partner to be present. Like, this is super fucking weird. I'm like sweating profusely, like, and then I'm like, okay, why don't we go to like the diner? Let's go out of the house. Let's like go away.
Let's get as far away
Wasn't
from
it
you
at
as
this
possible.
point that you texted me like, "Hey, some weird shit's going
Yes,
on"? Like,
I text Alex and I'm like, what time are you coming home? By chance? Just asking, just wondering. And Alex is like, oh yeah, like I'll be home soon.
I was like
be-
just leaving work.
And I'm like, okay, great. This person is sleeping over, by the way, and something weird is happening. And so Alex gets home, and it's like kind of late, and my other two friends left, and I was like, God, I don't want anybody leaving. I want more people coming in. I want to be with more people.
Yeah.
And Alex like kind of rescued me from the situation. She like came in and she was just like, oh my God, hey, what's up?
By the time I got home, and obviously I kind of already know what's going on.
Yeah.
Because
Mm-hmm.
SOS signal.
Yeah.
I literally was like, I need you
So-
to hear a stat. Like, please come home. Yeah.
I'm basically trying to like be like life of the party at this point to try
Yeah.
to like direct all attention away from
My
Sydney at this
fucking
point.
Sydney's feet.
piggies.
Yeah.
My little
She's obviously
tootsies.
feeling so uncomfortable. So,
Yeah.
but it's like in a way that it's like, okay, so this person's sleeping over, so we feel, and like they have no way of getting home. So it's like, we don't want to cause a scene. Like,
Yeah.
how do I redirect this situation in a way that can at least make it like as like the least amount of uncomfortable for everyone
Yes.
involved?
The
You
way
know
I
what
would have been
mean?
like, Alex, take my car for a joyride, drive us all the way back to the other state where they live and drop them the fuck off.
Right. I was like,
I would have barricaded myself in my bedroom.
I
Well,
literally
that's basically what you did
is
at
what
one
I
point.
did. That is. I was like,
They like were not getting the hint. Like we were
Yeah.
all sitting at the kitchen table at this point, like drinking, just like hanging out, and like I'm like this person keeps on trying to be like, I'm kind of getting tired. Maybe we should go. Like just trying to like remove me from the situation, and
Yeah.
I'm like, actually no. Like why don't we play another round of Scrabble
Yeah.
or whatever the fuck we
yeah,
were doing?
no, stay awake. So I.
No, stay awake.
And like I also like, mind you, this person was like a comfortable enough person to where like it wouldn't have been weird for this person to like sleep on the floor and like
Right.
That's
the
why
room.
this was
Yeah.
so crazy.
I was like,
It's like the second
this
Travis
will not
wasn't around.
be happening. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm just getting tired. Let me set you up in the living room on the couch with the blankets and the pillows, because like we had this like really tiny living room. And I'm like, okay, as soon as because it was like at a time where it was an appropriate time now to like turn in.
Mhm.
So I'm like, Alex, I'm gonna go to sleep soon. And Alex is like, yeah, I'm getting tired too. And then this person kept being like, oh no, guys, like stay up, like come on. I was like, no, I'm really tired. It's like I think it was like 11 at this point, and I had all the energy in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm going to fucking bed.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I another thing that happened was I get in our bedroom, I locked the door. I felt so uncomfortable that I could not even
Yeah.
sleep with the door unlocked, because I was like,
Even with that, I wouldn't have slept.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, also I'm internalizing it, because I'm like, okay, I have to like break this news to my partner,
Right.
Yeah.
we're all good friends.
I'm also
Right.
at this point feeling like hyper vigilant because
Right,
I'm like
that's
listening.
how I would be
I'm like,
feeling.
Yeah.
okay, do I hear footsteps like in
Right.
the middle of the? You know what?
Yeah.
I would
I'm
have
just
literally
trying to be,
slept
like,
in the room
on-
with you at
yeah,
that
shit.
point. Yeah.
It was like so uncomfortable, and like it was just so weird. So I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And I'm like, okay, like no, there's too many weird things that happened for that to have all been like a coincidence.
Yeah.
The next morning, I'm like up at the ass crack of fucking dawn, and I'm like, I suddenly forgot I have a doctor's appointment. just now I have a doctor's appointment in an hour, and this
Time to go.
This person's like, oh, I can come with you.
Fuck,
No,
no.
it's a lady's doctor's appointment. You can't come with me. Nope, you cannot.
Mhm.
I have to go to the lady doctor. So what? How are we getting you home today?
Yeah.
So I dropped them off in Philly to like take a bus, and so then I called Drago. As soon as he texted me that he was awake, because he was in Vegas. Always crazy things happening when he's in Vegas.
Yep.
He's like, oh my God, I was so drunk last night. And I'm like, great, can you call me when you have a second?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, last night was so fun. Weird thing though. Don't know if I'm overthinking. And I like dropped kind of the knowledge, and like he was fucking pissed. And he
Yeah, that's totally not okay.
because that person
Yeah.
was supposed to also like hang out with us like in 2 weeks when like the tour was ending in
Right.
Philly.
Oh no.
And I was also like, I felt like I had to like really like explain myself, because this is like, again, a person that was like really like in high regards. Like,
Right.
and also I felt like weird because I'm like, I don't want it to be like read as like a situation where this was like an inappropriate thing, and I had this
Right.
person staying
Yeah.
over,
Mhm.
which like it wasn't like that at all. But I mean, I think you even reached out to Trav afterwards, and you were like, hey, I just want to let
I'm
you
pretty
know,
sure we
like,
had a conversation
like they
about
even
it.
had a conversation. Like Alex was that fucking bitch for me last
Oh,
night.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
holy
saved my
shit.
ass for sure.
And they were roommates.
And they were
And they were roommates.
Yeah.
So I was living in this house with 3 other girls who I found on Facebook. We
Yep.
just like kind of, that was just
That seems
the
to be
way.
a Philly thing
It's such
too.
an easy way to
Um,
find people.
Long story short, with that whole situation, the one girl that I was living with was like constantly taking pills. There was like a drug intervention
Oof.
halfway
Oh,
through
fuck.
the year.
Okay.
And I did not see her after that, so I don't know what the fuck was going on there. The second girl was fucking out of her mind. I haven't talked to her, seen her in years and years and years. I don't even know what she's doing anymore. But she was like the kind of girl that she would like steal things from other roommates and then like claim that it was always hers all along. So
Ugh.
yeah, that was a rough time. So
That's maniacal.
I had some issues with that one.
I
Yeah.
will say my favorite roommate experience aside from Alex, because he's like forever roommate experience
Yeah.
now, but was when it was abroad, but it was Hawaii. I went to a school in Hawaii for a semester with my friend Kath, and we had like this little shitty studio. The entire space was probably like the entire size of like this space set up here, maybe a
Mhm.
little bit like definitely smaller.
Yeah.
But like it was set up so we had like 2 twin beds, and like her head was where my toes were. Like that's how close we were for like
Yeah.
7
Shut the
months.
fuck up, yeah.
But our bond and the shit that we went through
Yeah.
during that time, because we were the only people that we knew
Yeah.
in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
And this, like, just the missions that we would go on. Like, there would be days where we would sit inside all day, rot, watch TV. Next day, we would be traveling the island. And this is back when you still had to go on dummy missions if you wanted to acquire marijuana. You couldn't just, like, go to the store and buy it. So you had to, like, contact a million different people and track them down. And they would maybe show up or maybe keep you waiting for 3 hours.
Yeah.
So, like, we would go on these absurd missions across the island to, like, obtain weed
my
just so we
gosh.
could, like, chill on the beach and smoke. We had so much fucking fun, but we grew so close because
Yeah.
we were on top of each other.
That it'll do it to you.
But it was I've never laughed more in my life than just the comedy that came out of living in
Yeah.
that close quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Living like real close with somebody like that will really do it for you every time. And you're like right on top of each other. That's how it was with one of my exes. And I learned how many things I fucking could not stand in such a short period of time. I was like, why do men leave their fucking socks on the floor? Like literally put that shit in the hamper. We live in a place that's this fucking big. Like, oh my
Well,
God.
and that's the thing now. Now my roommate, I'm cleaning pubes up off the fucking sink. You know?
Yeah.
Oh my God, no.
You know, you leave. Living with the man is hard.
But he cooks for me
Yeah.
every day, so
Yeah.
I can't complain that
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. I will say, like, Josh is probably the easiest partner that I've ever lived with. And Josh has never lived with anybody else before. And he's like, oh, this was like some really easy shit. But I think originally when I was like moving in here, he was like petrified.
But that's
like,
also because he lived alone. for
Yes,
it. So
yeah.
he had no choice but to like
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. He went from like living with a family with like multiple siblings, like 5 or 6 or whatever the fuck, and then he came into just living by himself. Literally has never had a roommate in his life. And I'm like, literally, what is that
That's
fucking like?
so
I don't
sick.
understand. Yeah.
I never lived. I don't think I've ever lived alone.
I lived alone.
I don't know if I would be able to be alone.
It's the fucking sickest thing ever. I love
Alex
it.
went to Florida for 3 days and I was beside myself. I didn't know what to do. I was like, I guess I'll just rot on my couch and
Yeah.
like watch my favorite movies because what else am I gonna do? I don't have time like this
Yeah.
I
ever.
loved living by myself. I lived by myself for so long. Like as soon as I graduated high school, I lived by myself, and then I didn't have roommates for like a while. Then I lived with my aunt for a very weird short period of time. She lived in the house that I was living in because the house that I lived in and out for like 10 years was my dad's house. So I'd like live there and would live there or whatever, and then he'd be like, oh, your aunt's gonna move in for a little bit, oh, your cousin's moving in for a little bit. I'd live by myself again, and then like I lived with a partner for one period of time. But yeah, there's nothing like living by yourself. You know exactly where all your shit is. Like,
But
Yeah.
I know that now. Who am I gonna talk to? I'm fucking crazy. I need someone to talk to.
you just call your mom all the
Just call
time.
me.
That's what I do. I used to
But,
just be
like,
on the
that's
phone
thing,
24/7.
Who's
You know
gonna
what?
hear my vocal stems? Who's gonna hear
Actually,
my brain farts?
No,
Like,
when I lived by myself, I was I think this is how my YouTube channel blew up, was because I was constantly on that shit. If I wasn't like uploading a video, I was on a live stream.
Yeah.
And I was just like doing
Yeah,
that
you
all the
do
time.
have like more time. I feel like probably if you living alone, you have like all the time in the world to
Right.
like invest in your passions and like
Yes.
things that you like.
Mhm.
Yeah, because like the one downside of living with Travis and especially being like people that just like never came out of our room is
Yeah.
I never had any alone time, literally ever. He
Mhm.
was always like I could throw a fucking shoe at him,
Yeah.
and it would hit him in the head.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then again, I always say like there's nothing more fun. There's nothing else I would rather do in this world than be on my couch with Alex, smoking a bong, eating snacks for the entire day.
Yeah,
That's my ideal day.
Yeah. it's the best.
I'm so content that Alex and I could hang out all the time
Yeah.
and that would be fine.
Same, yeah.
Like,
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Like Trav also, actually, I guess I kind of almost felt like I lived alone when Trav would go on tour for like
Right.
5 weeks at a time.
Mhm.
Because I still didn't come out of my room.
Well, yeah, because
Oh,
like
wow.
in your brain, you're probably like you're constantly working because at this point in time, you're working at the hotel, so you're just like barely ever home. But when you are home, you're like dead to the world.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that would feel
Not me. I was
lonely
so
experience.
Yeah, it was a
literally
little
was
hard.
so alone because I did not have a regular job, so I was not going to work every day and like
Oh,
also
yeah.
lived by
that
myself.
would have put me in an insane asylum.
No, it literally taught me like everything about myself. Like I was like just learned so much about myself in the
Yeah.
past like couple years that I did that. But also, like I said, like living with Josh has been like the fucking easiest time I've ever had, aside from Laura. Like Laura, like I was like, damn, this could not be any fucking easier. And she just like come home with like plans. She's like, look what I got. I'm like, fuck yes. You know what I mean?
Sounds like me. I was
Yeah.
like, hey, Alex, just letting you know I got a new plant. I don't know where we're going to put it. But
Yeah.
my
yeah.
favorite thing about living with Sydney and Trav, but specifically Sydney, would be like because I love cooking
Mhm.
and I love
Good for you.
making dinners.
She's a little cooking
Like
mama.
I love a good recipe.
I burned taco shells one time.
I've
They were,
never
like,
cooked
on
a meal in my
fire.
We'll
apartment.
do
Really?
we'll do a girls pod we'll do like a cooking episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
show.
shit.
Oh, we could do that.
We would
Yeah.
crumble. You and I
You
would
and I
fucking
would
crumble.
flail
I
like motherfuckers.
I'll sit over here by the table and keep you company.
Alex would win for sure.
No, it wouldn't even it's not about winning or losing. It's about the love of the game.
Yeah.
Not the
You know?
gentle parenting right now.
And that is a true sports girly right
Yes.
there.
Yes.
Oh man, that's
Do we want to
funny
wrap
as
this
shit.
up with a group chat gossip?
Yeah.
My current hyperfixation is I've been doing like an elimination, like anti-inflammatory diet.
Yeah.
So far I've pretty much solidified that garlic can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So my stomach is currently in shambles as we speak.
Because you had hummus.
I had hummus. I thought I was safe with the hummus too.
Yeah.
But also that could, well, I don't know, because chickpeas technically is a bean, but it's all ground up, so I don't think that would hurt my like other.
I don't think it matters what kind of form the bean is in.
I think it is because it like the thing is like it would get stuck in like a little pocket in
Oh,
'cause of,
interesting.
like the little things.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hummus can't do it apparently anymore.
Yeah.
But like I've just been like really like trying to like focus on like being very intentional with like the things that I am like putting into my body and like the things I'm eating. And outside of today, the last 3 days, I felt like so good. My stomach was like way less inflamed and
Hell
like
yeah.
fluffy and
We
like,
love that.
Yeah, like I get really bloated. My face was like a little like less red and inflamed. Like I definitely do think that like majority of like the symptoms that I experience have to do with like the food that I'm putting in my body. And because even though it was only been a couple days now, like I am so focused on it, I think this is like actually like the first diet that I'll actually like follow through with for like the 3 months.
Wow.
So that's been like pretty much
Proud
like,
of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, hell
It's been
yeah.
pretty much like the thing that I've been like fixating on the most.
Do I have any group chat gossip? I've been oddly obsessed with reading lately, but I think it's just because I've finally had time for it because
You've
now
been reading a lot lately.
Yeah, but it's because now I have an editor for the podcast. Shout out to
Yeah.
Slack. Thank you
Woohoo!
so much.
We
What are
love
we
that.
reading?
I'm reading. Well, I've been in between 2 books. I've been between Sisters of the Revolution, which I am having such a hard time retaining any information from that.
It's academic, isn't it?
It's not really. I mean, it's a lot of like
Like
storytelling.
historical.
Yeah,
based
it's a lot of
stuff?
like storytelling, but I think the other thing is because the other book that I'm reading is called Glucose Goddess or Glucose Goddess Method, and I've been learning so fucking much from that, and I think because it directly applies to me, I think that's why I've been picking up on that one a lot more
you
recently.
relate to it.
Yeah, I think so. I had one other thing that I was gonna say. Oh my god, the show Younger. I flew through that shit.
Oh, you liked it?
Oh
I
my
never
god, it was
watched it.
so fucking good. It was like 7 seasons, and Josh and I got through it in like a week and a half.
What
my
streaming
God.
platform is it on?
It's on Netflix,
I'll have to watch
and
it.
the episodes are good because they're only like 20 minutes long.
I
How are we
love
feeling?
that
That's so good.
format.
How are
fucking
we
love 20-minute
feeling
episodes.
about White Lotus.
Oh my god, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on?
I haven't
Are you
started
just
yet.
watching season 1 or season 3?
Season 1.
You're on, okay, so you're back in the beginning.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm like on like episode 3, and like literally I was telling Josh last night, I was getting so pissed off because I was like, I don't know what's happening right now.
Just keep it going.
That's you guys are the only
Keep it
reason
moving,
fucking
girl.
that I'm listening
I
to
promise
that
you're
shit.
gonna be like, oh, this is worth it.
That's
It's a
what I
great
said. Like I
fucking
was
show.
like, the fact that they were freaking out about this so much makes me understand that it's probably really good and I need to actually watch the whole
Yeah.
thing. But like if this was
would
not
not
a
lead you
recommendation, I would have
astray.
been like, turn this shit the fuck off. Like
Yeah.
what kind of storytelling is this? Like they're not doing me any justice, they're not helping me.
I just want to also take the moment, like we should all clap for Brie.
Why?
'Cause I
What did
feel
I
like
do?
you're like actually getting help for your like,
Yeah, I
podcast, which I
know.
know that has been like such a stressor for you.
It was such a hard thing for me to let go
I
of
know,
too.
yeah, like putting your like it's your baby. And
I
you're,
know.
like, putting your trust in other people, and I think that's so fucking slay.
yeah. Well, Slack is fucking killing it. So
Yeah.
thanks, Slack. You're the
We
best.
love
We
Slack.
love you.
Yeah.
Thanks for helping Brie.
Yeah. What about you, Casey?
Oh, I have 2 for this week.
Hell yeah.
I know I talked about it earlier in the group chat. Reese's Puffs.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Oh, they're so
I
good.
have gone through. So here's the thing. I got a box of the minis Reese's Puffs. So much more satisfying.
You
than
know
the
what I used
regular
to like a lot
size.
was that fucking the one with the cookie looking
Cookie
cereal.
Crisp?
Cookie Crisp.
Yes, that was my
Bomb.
shit.
Banger.
Yes.
But I got a box of the mini, destroyed the whole box, and I tried to leave at least a bowl for Alex.
Fuck that.
But I'm like, bro, you're not getting to it quick enough.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just about to eat this. So now I went to Walmart and I got the 2-pound bag.
Hell yeah.
It's not even a box. It
Yeah.
came in a bag.
Yes.
So I've been eating that for breakfast every day. Maybe lunch. Maybe a little afternoon snack sometimes.
I also will fuck up some cinnamon toast crunch.
I love cinnamon.
That's my
Toast Crunch.
shit.
good.
Hell yeah.
Honey crisp or honeycombs also
Yeah.
one of my
Okay,
favorites.
we have the same
Toast
palate.
Crunch. Can we talk about French Toast Crunch? Do we remember that? It's
I don't remember.
No.
that
been
one.
discontinued. It was the best fucking cereal of all time. I think about it all the time, and I will never live another day. They brought it back in like 2015 as like a throwback cereal, and then it was discontinued again. Don't know why. They're
But
literally
I-
like little mini.
Our age gap is not that big, so I'm very
it's like-
confused
they're
as
like
to why I
little
don't know
mini
this.
like toasts, and they're like
Yes,
French
yes. I know what you're talking about now.
I feel like I might know what you're talking
buttery,
about.
like it's so fucking good.
But I'm also diabolical. I don't eat my cereal with milk.
Me either. That's what I'm fucking talking about.
Yeah, I'm a dry cereal kind of gal.
Me and Alex are just back here like.
I'm gonna be
That's
honest
crazy.
though. I have not ingested milk since I was on the teat,
Okay, but
like at all.
Well, you don't drink coffee, so like
No.
that you can't even wean your way in with that.
No.
But I also agree, I can't do cereal with milk. It like something about it like itches a thing in my brain
Why
that I'm like,
do I want something that could be so perfectly crunchy?
and now you're
to
gonna
be
make it fucking soggy?
Because like,
Yeah.
the whole thing is
Creamy
it won't
drinks,
get,
though?
you eat it
in
fast,
general?
it won't get soggy. It
I don't
just
want
is
to eat
crunchy.
fast.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy what the fuck I'm doing.
I want to get 3 or 4 pieces on each spoon so I can last the bowl
Yes.
as long as possible.
Me
Hold
too.
on, fucking pause, Casey. No, ain't no way in hell you're eating cereal with the spoon, but with no milk. What the fuck's
You're
the
just
point?
eating
That's what
dry
I do.
ass
That's
That's
cereal.
what I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just fucking to the dome with a cup at that
No.
point.
I will
Either
do
a
that,
spoon
too,
or
if I'm in a
I'll
rush.
just
That's
finger
more
it.
acceptable to me.
I'll just finger it.
Same.
No,
That makes more sense too.
no,
I'm
I
the same
need
way.
a spoon. It gives
Why-
me control. That's like controls how fast I
That's
eat it.
not
I'll just
allowed.
So the first hyperfixation, I would say it's kind of just like a general theme for my year because I am getting married in October.
Can't
Yes.
wait.
So me and Mikey have this kind of mantra of shredding for the wedding.
I have taken
Hell
on the
yeah.
mantra too.
So we actually like wrote out like a contract that we both signed, and it's on our fridge.
I
just
saw
to
it.
kind of keep each other accountable.
I
Are y'all
did
type
see.
A?
Yeah,
That feels very type A.
for sure.
Continue.
Yeah.
No judgment, just saying.
There's like, this is also very type A. There's different categories of the
Yup.
contract.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I
there's
did
like
see it. I did not dive in, but I did see it on.
there's
your
like a
fridge.
health and wellness section where it's like, okay, we're getting rid of our DoorDash pass because
shit.
like we need to lock in.
Yeah.
And then also like outside of just like the general health and wellness stuff and just trying to like be fit and stuff for the wedding, just like kind of checking in with each other periodically because wedding planning is very stressful.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
And sometimes like, I mean, obviously like getting married and having a wedding is the whole purpose is because you're celebrating your relationship. But sometimes like you get so swept up in like the logistics of that like you kind of like need to take a second to step back and be like, okay, like what are we doing for our relationship in this moment where we're like truly like catering to our needs, you know what I mean? Like maybe that looks like having like one night a week where it's just kind of like date night, even if it's not
Yeah.
like going out, just like kind of like you were
Intentionally
saying
spending
earlier,
time.
just
Yeah.
intentional
Yeah.
time together, like parallel play, like
Yeah.
maybe he's like building his miniatures, I'm playing video games, we're
Yeah.
in the same space, just enjoying
Existing.
each other's
Yeah.
presence.
Mm-hmm.
That's not, I mean, it's like more of a theme than a hyperfixation, but the other thing I was going to bring up, which you're going to make fun of me for.
I can't wait to hear this.
I just recently watched the documentary that just came out on Netflix, The Twister, which is
Okay.
it's about
Storm Chaser Alex.
Storm Chaser Alex. That's like one of my hyperfixations in general. Like I have like the radar apps on my
Yeah.
phone.
That's funny as fuck.
She came in,
Yes.
she came in our bedroom one time. A little knock on the door. She opens the door. She's like, she just like says a name as if I'm supposed to know who this person is, and is like, so and so is tweeting about a tornado that we're apparently gonna get hit with in like 30 minutes. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, bitch, but was I right?
You
or
were
was I
right.
Was I right or was I right?
She was correct. There was, in fact, a tornado. I saw it outside of our house. I was trying to get everybody down to the basement, dogs down to the basement. Travis's bitch ass was like, what does that have to do with me? I'm going to continue playing my Black Ops. And I'm like arguing with him, being like, no, Travis, there's a tornado. We need to go downstairs. He was like, nope, I'm good.
Yeah, so there's this documentary that just came out on Netflix, and it's all about the Joplin, Missouri tornado that hit in 2011. That's like
Ooh.
one of the deadliest tornadoes in like known modern
I think
history.
I did
Wow.
see that on Netflix.
I literally had it in my watch list for like I've been waiting for it to drop. So I'm like, oh, I can't wait for this. Also, Jeff Petrowski, he was storm chasing that tornado, and some of his footage is in the documentary.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's just really cool because it's a lot of like firsthand like eyewitness accounts of the day. I think I want to say it was like around 160 people perished in this tornado. That's a lot of people. It
Yeah.
it literally hit Joplin head on because like usually when you think tornadoes, you think like, oh, somewhere out in like a field in Nebraska.
Yeah.
It's maybe hitting like a barn or something, but like people aren't going to be affected.
Yeah.
But this was like a really bad one that hit like a very populated area. And so it's just like a lot of really interesting firsthand accounts of the situation, like from start to finish, from meteorologists, but also from people that like survived this tornado. Like my favorite story, I won't give away too much, but there was this guy who he was like driving on the back roads with his friends, like just like got out of high school kind of age, like you know, smoking weed in the boons, like that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
They didn't even know that a tornado was coming, and they ended up, their car got sucked up into the tornado. This is like a mile-wide tornado.
Oh my God.
keep
That's
in mind.
literally so scary.
You cannot
Tornadoes are
escape
like my
that.
top 5 biggest fears.
It makes me terrified because my sister-in-law, my niece and nephew live in Missouri.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so they're probably
I'm
familiar.
like they
Yeah.
were here 2 weeks ago and they were tracking a tornado while they were sitting at the kitchen table. They were like, "Well, at least we're here. We don't know what we're going home to, though."
It's
so
crazy.
scary.
But yeah, so this kid, he was in this car that got sucked up into the tornado, and the force of the winds was so powerful that it literally broke the glass, and he got sucked out of the car, just like full on, like sucked up into this tornado. Just like, I mean, he landed in a field somewhere, but he like survived. Like he was in a
What?
coma. He was in a coma for like months, and he ended up contracting this flesh-eating disease from the tornado because the tornado
Like the
was
particles in it and shit like that.
the tornado was
What the
so
fuck?
powerful that it like drew soil up from the like. It like drew this fungus out of the soil, and like because the wind was so powerful, it pushed it into people's lungs, and they contracted this rare flesh-eating fungus.
Fuck?
And so he literally
New fear unlocked.
literally new fear unlocked. Anyway, it's like he tells his story, and it's crazy.
That's
Holy
cool.
shit.
Have you ever watched that show on, I want to say it's either Discovery or History Channel? It's like Crazy Earth Caught on Camera.
I
And
probably
it's like
have.
people, it's on Discovery Plus, which is like the best streaming platform ever. But people, it's like they submit their own videos of them storm chasing or documenting like typhoons, and that show makes me anxious.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
Alex is going to be like, she's inspired now. She's going
I'll
to.
literally, when I'm at home bed rotting, if I'm not like playing video games, I'm on TikTok scrolling through. I'm just like searching like
Storm talk.
videos of tornadoes, like storm chasing videos of hurricanes.
I literally love that.
I love that for you.
I love that. It's the best.
I just
that
find
you
it
love
so interesting. It's my
Yeah.
hyperfixation.
I love
What
it.
can I say? Anyway, so yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.